One of the most life-changing lessons for me was moving from paycheck to paycheck at 35, unemployed, thousands of dollars in student loan debt, and a poor credit, to building a seven-figure net worth in just 7 years as an immigrant with no finance degree, just a simple, repeatable system. So if you are buried in bills, constantly starting over, or feel like you started too late like I did, I am here to tell you that it's not too late, because in this video, I will share with you the exact payday system you can use so your money can finally feel safe, organized, and working for you. I went from living paycheck to paycheck with serious financial anxiety and fear of running out of money to having financial peace where I don't have to worry about money, without having to hustle, without having to burn myself out or chasing money constantly. Let's get started. Number one, account setup. I know that you've been told that making more money is the key to building wealth, but here is the truth. That's actually the easiest part. Making money is the easiest part because we're also great at making money. We're also great at doing it. If you added up everything you've earned in the last 5 to 10 years, it might surprise you how much money you've earned. A lot of money. But the problem is it hasn't stayed. Not because we're careless, but because no one ever really taught us how to keep money and how to make it flow. Many of us immigrants are supporting families back home, paying mortgages here, car notes, a lot of money in student loans, and reacting to emergencies. And we're always promising ourselves that we will catch up in the next month. But that catch up never comes. We're working harder than ever, yet somehow we really have nothing to show for it. The bank owns the house, the bank owns the car, we still have a lot of student loans, and so on and so forth. Money needs a safe place to land and stay before it can grow. For example, when I first hit my very first 100K a year, my income was moving, was expanding and becoming more, but my net worth did not move. Why? Because my money had no system. Every paycheck landed in this one checking account, bill came out of there, wants came out of that, needs came out of that, and by the third week, I was broke again. Sound familiar? But here is the shift. Wealth isn't about how much comes in. It's about how you route what comes in. So think of your money like a city traffic system. When the lights work, cars flow very smoothly. But when every light blinks red, there's traffic jams and accidents and chaos happening everywhere. That was my bank account. So what I did was I created 3 separate accounts. A checking account, that's the hub, like the downtown. And then a high yielding savings account, that's your safe suburbs, short-term cushion and emergencies. And then the third account was the investment account. That's the highway leading to your future. So think about your 401k, your Roth IRA, or your brokerage account. That's where time multiplies your money, long-term growth. Here's a quick micro action. Pause this video right here and take a look at your account setup. What is the one word that describes your current flow? Is it clogged? Is it chaotic? Or is it smooth? Comment down below. And if this feels overwhelming right now, you're not behind. This is exactly where most immigrant women in our community start. If you want a personalized help setting this up, I open just 5 free 30-minute sessions every week, and they fill up fast. We'll build your exact system together so your money can finally start working for you. The link is in the description below. Even with the account setup, there's something else we still need to do, and that's step number 2, reviewing your spending. I won't ask you to give up on every comfort like cutting out your coffee or never eating out, feeling guilty for wanting the little luxury. No, I don't even do that. If I feel like buying coffee and not making it, I go ahead and buy it because that is not sustainable. What's the purpose of working so hard, giving everyone else your money, including sending it back home, if you cannot even enjoy some comfort and convenience of having someone else cook for you, having someone else clean your house for you, or having someone else drive you around in Uber? However, in this community, we practice intentional enjoyment and empowered control. So here is the thing. Most of us don't stay broke because we overspend. We stay broke because we spend without awareness. When I finally reviewed my own bank statement, I found $700 a month flowing into things that I don't even remember buying. Not because I was reckless, but because I wasn't present with my money. Just this week, when I reviewed my bank account, I saw that Amazon was charging me for BritBox since June. I don't even remember signing up for that subscription. I don't even know what that is. These tiny autopilot decisions are quietly hijacking your money goals. So instead of cutting everything out, here is what worked for me. Print or download your last 3 months of statement. Highlight purchases that truly improved your life and circle the ones that did not. Those are the places to reclaim your cash. This isn't about guilt. It's about choice. Money feels powerful when you intentionally decide where it goes, not when your emotions or bad habits make the decision for you. So here's a micro action for you. From your last 3 impulse buy, name one thing that you spend money on that you would happily keep and one that you would release. Here is the truth. You don't have to shrink your life to grow wealth, but you have to spend it in alignment, not on autopilot. Now, some of you might say, I'm already budgeting. Yes, but are you budgeting for freedom or just survival? Because in this community, we don't do survival, cutting everything out because it's not sustainable. We build systems that let us live fully, intentionally, enjoying the lives we've worked so hard for while our money works for us. So, step number 3, budget with emotional payoff. Most people talk about the 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to your needs like your rent, your bills, groceries, and the basics that keep your life stable. And then the 30% goes to your want, your joy spending, eating out, travel, self care, all the little comforts that make you happy. 20% goes to your savings and paying off your debt. But here is the kicker. When I eventually paid off my student loan debt and I had 6 months basic needs already saved up, I cranked it up. I started putting 60% into investing, 10% into giving, 20% was going towards my needs, and 10% was just going into want. That's when everything changed for me. And for the first time, I felt financial peace. I was no longer anxious about money. Money wasn't controlling me anymore. I was directing it with the system, and I could enjoy my life and watch my future grow at the same time. But even with the perfect flow, there is one trap that is silently killing every budget. So step number 4 is debt. Picture this. You're climbing a steep hill with a very heavy backpack filled with bricks. And in this backpack, you have your credit card, your car notes, student loans, mortgage, personal loans. And on your payday, an invisible hand reaches into your account and takes all your money out. The money doesn't even sit long enough to feel like it's truly yours. And the bad part, some of what's leaving isn't even the debt. It is the interest that you're paying on that debt. You're not just paying for what you borrowed, but you're also giving your future money away to the choice you made in the past. That is what debt does. And that cycle continues every single month. This is what debt does. It steals your ability to move forward, steals your time and your peace. But here is where it turns around. When I decided to break free from all of those debts that I had, I used the snowball method. I attacked the smallest balance first. That first paid in full wasn't about the amount. It was about momentum. It showed me that I was not powerless. I didn't worry about the big ones. I focused on the small ones because the moment I paid one off, it gave me a lot of power to feel that, yes, I can do this. So here is a micro action for you. List all the debts you have from the smallest to the largest one. That's the snowball effect. Or you can also take on from the highest interest to the lowest interest using the avalanche method. Just pick one that you will actually stick to because momentum is what gives you the power to keep going. When the interest stops eating your income, your money finally starts to belong to you. And as that interest quiets down, your income becomes yours. Because now when you're done paying, you can now take all of that money and move it into somewhere else. And once those payments are gone, how do you make that freed up money grow automatically while still living well? Let's build that next. Step number 5, the Freedom Fund. I don't call it emergency fund. I call it freedom fund because number 1, I don't want any emergencies. Number 2, because when I finally put that together, I stopped feeling financially trapped. I no longer had the financial anxiety. I even took off time to upskill because I could afford to take a break. Here is a target: 6 months of essentials. So you start here. Put together 1 month starter kit for all of your basic necessities. When you're done building that 1 month, you now move into building 3 months. 3 months will give you a steady flow. And then you move into building 6 months of only essentials. And then you can park that 6 months into a high yielding savings account. For me, I use a bank that takes 3 to 5 days for me to move the money because I don't want to be able to move it in less than a day. So you start with 1 month and then 3 and then 6. Imagine if your essentials were covered for 6 months. So my question to you today is that if your essentials were covered for 6 months, what exactly would you choose to do with your life right now? Would you upskill yourself? Would you rest or start a side job? I would love to read your response in the comments. For me, when I had that 6 month setup, I was able to take some time off from work and retrain on a high income skill. And that decision alone tripled my income. That's what wealth feels like, the kind of calm that lets you make decisions from power, not from panic. But savings alone is just one step. The real multiplier, the one that builds wealth while you sleep, is investing. Think of this like planting a garden. You don't dig up the seeds every week to check if they're growing. You just water, you wait, and time does the multiplying for you. When I started investing, I chased every hot stock tip I heard. I bought when everyone was hyped and I sold the moment the market dipped. And the result? That portfolio is so burnt that 4 years later, I am still at negative 53%. I don't even bother looking at it anymore. Then I slowed down and I realized that the skill of making money is not the same for growing money. And I'm making a video on that later. I stopped guessing and I began to pick a broad low-cost index ETF. I automated monthly contributions to it and I just let time do the rest. I stopped treating the market like a casino and started treating it like a garden. And today, that particular account is up by 63%, not because I worked harder, but because I stopped hustling my investment. Investing rewards stillness, not hustle. That's how wealth works, quietly, consistently in the background of your life, but you have to set up a system that supports it. That's how wealth works, quietly, consistently in the background of your life, but you have to set up a system that supports that. So here is a micro action for you. Choose one diversified fund, for example, the total market or S&P 500. Set an amount you will not miss. You just automate it and you never change it. So if this feels scary to you like it did for me the first time, I'm happy to walk you through how I set mine up in a free 30-minute call. No sales pitch, just clarity, and the link is in the description. The final one is automation. So imagine waking up on your payday, with no anxiety, no manual transfer, no I'll do it later. Your paycheck lands and your money moves itself. Your bills are covered, savings are growing, and your investment well funded automatically before you even make your morning coffee. That was the moment I realized something. Automation is self-control on autopilot. Because let's be real, we all start with good intention. I will invest next week. I'll save what's left, but life gets busy and what's left becomes nothing. So I stopped trusting my willpower and I started trusting the system. I set the payroll split to needs, which goes to my checking, freedom saving, which goes to the high yielding savings account, and investing, which goes to the investment account, even before spending. Automation is self-control on autopilot. That's what freedom feels like. Your money quietly working harder than you do. So let's recap. Number 1, build 3 lanes: your hub, your freedom savings, and your investment. Number 2, stop quiet leaks. Number 3, budget for freedom, not for survival. And step 4, simplify your debt. Either you use the snowball system or the avalanche. Step number 5, fund your freedom cushion. And number 6, plant your long-term seeds and then automate it. Let the system carry the load for you. So I do hold a free 30-minute setup calls every week for immigrant women in our community. On that call, we'll map out your lanes, we'll close one leak, and we'll set one automation before you hang up. If that support would help you in any way, the link is in the description.